IVM.
Hey everybody, welcome to another amazing week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money, for supporting the network. Guys, you should definitely check out some of the content that we're doing recently, which is somewhat COVID-related. Pavan's been doing an awesome job on the Pragati Podcast. All Thing Policy has also got a tremendous number of really, really great episodes about what's going on and the impact. We talk about this stuff on Cyrus Says, especially in the Cock and Bull episode. On Advertising Instead, Varun's had a couple of episodes where he's spoken about the impact of this, as is Karthik on the Filter Coffee podcast. And across the network, definitely do check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself. And with that, let's get you to your show.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative.
Okay, Cyrus Says, award-winning show, listened to in about 177 countries, including all COVID countries by law. Rant for the day has got to do with the way we're living. I've had a huge fight with my wife. This is par for the course now. In fact, a couple who are coming on, I'm going to discuss how happy marriage is to them. And then, of course, I'll give the other perspective, which is always fun to balance things out. Justice meets in the middle. Coming back to the point, which is our fight, mundane fight, of course, mundane issue, but these mundane issues are the crux of marriage, as I warn my couple who are about to come on in a second. And that is over covers on the bed. Now, this is a small thing, as I said in the beginning, but I don't understand why she wants you to fold the cover, the bed sheet, the thing on top, whatever you call it, extra cover in cricket, and put it aside. Because I told her we're on the bed all the time, not in a sexual way, sadly, but we have nothing to do. So in between podcasts or whatever, I'm lying on the bed all the time. So my point is, there are no guests, no one coming to see your room, no one coming to check your tidiness quotient or your neatness quotient. So beyond the point, keep it reasonably clean and all that. Why do I have to keep taking covers on and off? I've taken a cover off 3 times yesterday, and she insists that that's my job. Taking it off, folding it. These are not easy things to do. I've got thumbs like an ape. They don't actually meet. I can't even put my thumb on my nose when they asked to do a drink test. The police that is, in the good old days. So I'm just a little upset. I want some support here. If there are any men out there who are being asked to do mundane things that make no sense, I'm okay with cleaning the plates because that makes sense. But taking the covers on and off like it's a cricket match with rain interruptions, I can't bear that. So please, this is called Cyrus Says. And in a second, we're going to meet some very important people.
Beta, did you know 79% of all scientists in NASA are Indian only?
देखो, इंडिया में टैक्स सिर्फ मिडिल क्लास भरती है. Everyone is just enjoying free यार.
आजकल के youngsters are only interested in partying and enjoying. उनको देश की पड़ी ही नहीं है.
बेटा तुम बस शादी कर लो, उसके बाद तो you can enjoy life like anything.
I will tell you what this country needs. This country needs 15 years of dictatorship. That is the only way to become a superpower. See the Chinese, how much they've progressed.
सुनो, तुमने ये WhatsApp forward देखा?
So what's common between all of these statements?
They're all absolutely rubbish.
Fake WhatsApp forwards that spread like wildfire.
And statements that defy any logic.
We are here to debunk them all.
Way of family WhatsApp groups, worst nightmare. Where what happens when you read a book.
Basically, we're just a bunch of guys who want to cut through the bullshit of everyone saying this, how it won't be true.
So that the next time someone confidently squeezes out some WhatsApp or Twitter BS, you can look them dead in the eye and go, Uncle, please sit.
So join me, Joel,
and me, Tushar,
every Mondays for a fresh new episode of Uncle, Please Sit.
All right, Cyrus Says, welcome, a smiling couple. We've got, let me pronounce this correctly, Satyajit, of course. I've had lots of friends with the same name, Satyajit, and Rachita. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
My Parsi pronunciation, my 3-syllable pronunciation always go for a toss. I don't want to disrespect anyone. I love names. It's very big for me. Guys, first, let me just at the outset tell everyone that you guys are amongst the first, arguably the first, at least the first that I know, who have got married. You've defeated the system. I want to applaud. Kudos to you. Well done. Because a lot of people, salute. You've defeated the system by getting married via Zoom. So what you've done is you've taken a terrible situation, this stupid lockdown and all this crap, and you've said, what the hell, we'll overcome. You've literally, like the song says, Hum honge kamyab, we shall overcome. You've actually done that. You've overcome your difficulties. So in my mind, you're an urban hero. I'm sick of applauding for all the people who are helping other people. They bore me to death after some time. I think it's overdone in my insensitive world. But you guys are the ones that I really like. I love this. The fact that you just figured out screw everybody. We are going to get married. It doesn't matter. Our minds are stronger than COVID virus or global shutdown or coma of the entire earth. So lots of claps. I'm sure anybody joining in will also be, who doesn't know about this, will be really impressed. One warning, I talk too much, so please talk over me. Or you guys will get used to that in marriage very soon. Right now,
I'll be the one who's getting used to it.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Never admit defeat publicly.
Yeah.
but the amazing thing is that, when you just look at the fact, wouldn't everybody around you say, this is from experience because I've spoken to a couple of other couples trying to get married, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has said this is not the right time to have a function, even if you could, use your innovativeness and creativity to do it this way, etc. Did you get pressure not to do it?
So actually it was, we were in two minds because, of course, the major reason was family being there. We wanted family to be around, and my sister lives in London, so the struggle was whether, she'll be able to attend the wedding or not. And of course, you feel that, you can probably wait it out for a couple of months and maybe it'll get better. But there's been so much uncertainty, and we just felt that, if it's the right time and you're ready, then I think that's all that matters. And yeah, I think we took the opportunity of using the internet and all the facilities we have now to sort of be connected with everybody at the wedding, and it was still very beautiful and memorable for us.
Okay, listen guys, just take us through the entire process for those who are just joining in, and even I don't exactly understand how you did this and whether you've come up with it on your own or there's a precedent, other people are doing it and you sort of followed. I don't know.
So basically what happened is we were scheduled to get married in Sri Lanka on the 24th and 25th of April.
It's COVID free if you can find your way there.
And so unfortunately the flights got cancelled and we had to cancel the whole wedding.
Well, back in the Ramayana, if my memory serves me right, there's a bridge. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So, and then secondly, we were supposed to get court married on the 8th of April. And unfortunately, the court shut on the 1st or 2nd, one of those days. So twice our wedding had already got cancelled. And so we were considering whether it was an option to get married during these days because they were very auspicious days according to the Hindu calendar. It was correct. Yeah. So if possible, we would have loved to have it. But circumstances were that, it wasn't seeming to be possible, and it wasn't until the very last minute, the day before the wedding, in fact, that we got all the permissions to kind of get the Pandit in, and Rachita and her parents could come into the neighborhood. And,
so physically you could get the Pandit, that's one, you need him, and you needed the parents.
We could get the bride to come.
And her parents.
Oh, and the bride, of course. Wow. Look at me, male chauvinist pig. Shadi to ho gaya, bride.
The main
guy. Thank God I'm not the wedding planner, guys. So you got the immediate parents, you got the Pandit, so you do it in the house, right? Literally.
Yeah.
And so we had to, of course, be very innovative because a lot of the things weren't the traditional things you would require for the wedding were not available. So, we went down to my building. And we have a few trees in the building, maybe 4 or 5. So we picked the flowers from those trees.
Wow.
We didn't have enough flowers for a Varmala. So Rachita's parents and Divya from London instructed them how to Rachita's sister Divya.
They used dupatta and they used golden lace and they made a Varmala for us.
So makeshift Varmala.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really special, Everybody has a run-of-the-mill wedding end of the day. MC kaun hai, caterer kaun hai, ye kaun hai, wo kaun hai. Everything about your wedding is unique. I mean, it's really good. I think somebody will document it one day once this is over and perhaps make a little film out of it.
Oh, Cyrus, your words are inspirational because when we were when I was on your show with Mom, you said we should make a book out of a movie and that book is becoming a movie now.
So, is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It's being made into a major Hindi feature film and
who will play your mom?
Yeah, that's not yet decided. But
are you going with Priyanka Chopra or are you going with Anusha?
Fingers crossed for the top 3. Anyone, Production house's hands now as well.
Superb. Give the Pandit a small role. By the way, what did he say? I mean, because ultimately a lot of people are scared to come to other people's houses, etc., etc.
So he was very enthusiastic to come.
Our Pandit was the most excited about a Zoom wedding because he was like, please smile for the people on Zoom who are watching you.
Wow, how the world has changed.
Everyone in the ceremony, so it was fantastic.
Of course, the cynics will say the Pandit's market was down. So finally he got a job, so he had to come. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was really memorable, and it was an awesome experience for me because I feel brides can never enjoy their wedding and there's like so much going on. And that actually the ceremony is something you just want to get done with and get rid of the people by the end of your wedding. And for me, it was really, really special because I could enjoy it.
She's done it before. Learn
from others' experience.
Yeah. But you're right. Rajna, actually, when you think about it, I think one of the things I remember every wedding is the jewelry that you're forced to wear. And by the end of the night, it's like she's doing weight training. There's so much jewelry. You're stuck in one posture. It's quite painful. I think we have to move that with the times. This could be like a lesson for modern India that, okay, guys, let's quicken the whole procedure. Let's make it more fun and lighter. And also, you involve everybody and save costs. I know it's a big issue when you're close because we Indians always feel obligated. I know, but I won't speak for all cultures, that you have to attend X, Y, and Z's wedding. Which means Delhi se jana padega, Calcutta se jana padega, London se aana padega. I mean, sister, I can't, even if she's thinking, damn it, not a good month for me.
And everybody was like ready, dressed in Indian outfits on Zoom with flowers, throwing flowers on
at the screen.
So it was
it was like they were with us. It wasn't, we felt them with us, in fact. It was a fantastic, the Zoom call we set up only maybe an hour before the wedding. Because we were still unsure in the morning whether the Pandit would come in, and then we did everything last minute. We hadn't even informed most of our friends.
I can see a film. I can see a web series. I'll talk to my people in Amazon. I've got a couple of people there. Sounds great. It's all lot of suspense.
And I think we're also a digitally progressive couple because Satya had proposed to me on IVM podcast at the studio, and it was again a digital proposal, and then we had a Zoom wedding. So I think we're headed in the digital direction.
So you're pioneers. You are taking the world with you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
In fact, he had written a really, really sweet poem for me, which...
he'll have to say it.
So I want him to say it, and I have a paragraph of a reply for it, which I also want to say.
Oh. Come on, let's hear it.
Okay, wait.
I'm trying to stop my dogs who are getting excited listening to it.
रचिता बनी ही थी बनाने के लिए, सिखाने के लिए, रास्ता दिखाने के लिए. पढ़ो ये किताब, करो कवि सम्मेलन में बुला. लेखकों के लेखों में शायद मिले कुछ जवाब. सच ने जो देखा, सच ने जो सीखा, सच ने दिखाया, सच को अलग ही सच दिखाया. जिन आंखों ने किया था दुनिया को दीवाना, सच ने पहचाना आंखों के पीछे है असली खजाना. सच ने कहा रच मैंने तुमको है पहचाना, चल मेरे साथ दुनिया भर को है प्यार से समझाना. साथ में जो दोनों हम हैं, अकेले दोनों उससे थोड़े कम हैं. अगर दुनिया भर है जाना, हाथ से साथ कभी ना छोड़ जाना. वही तो कर रहा हूँ बात, जाएंगे दोनों साथ साथ. रच के लिए ही है सच का प्यार, क्योंकि रच का सच ही है सच की रच.
सच की रच. Rach ki sach. I don't know.
My Hindi is horrible, by the way. I don't know.
No, your Hindi is fantastic. Your delivery is closer to mine. But the Hindi writing is
So Rach in this stands for Rachita, which is the creator, and Sach is Satyajit because it's Sachai ki jeet.
I sort of figured, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just going to read one small paragraph that I wrote as a reply.
Yes, please.
Yes, here goes. You have to do like Arz kiya hai.
Arz kiya hai.
Thank you. सच ने कहा रच मैंने तुमको है पहचाना. सच ने जो देखा खजाना, वो रच ने भी नहीं था जाना. साथ में जो दोनों हम हैं, अकेले उससे थोड़े कम हैं. सच्चाई से रचेंगे इस दुनिया को, अजय which is invincible, साथ हमारे कदम है. सच के लिए ही है रच का प्यार, क्योंकि रच का सच है कि सच की ही है रच.
Wow. You know what I like? You know what I really like? The fact that she's stuck in the middle to tell you that Ajay is a word which means invincible and not a guy. And not a guy.
Ajay लड़का नहीं है. Ajay
गाड़ी में स्टेपनी नहीं है. गाड़ी में स्टेपनी नहीं है. There's only you. वो सत्या है. But But tell me one thing, guys.
We can be cute and romantic also.
I love that. I love the fact that you're so open. I mean, I think that's a great sign. It's a great sign going ahead. Lots of people, especially men, Sajid, you should address this. I have female friends who tell me their husbands don't like holding their hands in public or ever, PDAs of any kind. No one's asking them to be obnoxious, like a teenager in college.
Yeah.
But, the way you've just sheepishly sort of said your poem, I think a lot of women, if they could, I don't know if you're showing the visuals of this, but I can see a lot of people saying, why can't my husband be like that? I get that.
So I think, like in any relationship, it's like an equalization of both sides. Like I wasn't this appreciative or like this PDA, as you call it, before. But, I think we both come to a middle ground where, expressing love is not a bad thing. Yeah, you should express your love for your family, friends, loved ones, every chance you get. So, and, it's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed about. So,
in the words of the Beatles, till there was you. The moment you found her, all this happened. Before that, it was just you and your life. But I think it's great. I think we need to support the whole Love Foundation and show people that it's just nothing to be ashamed of.
In these times, we definitely need more love. Yeah. Love is one thing we definitely need more.
And you realize how little you need also. That, in the simplest things, you can get married and you can have all of those, amazing emotions at that point. But nothing else is needed. That's all that matters.
You're saying, say, arz kiya and all that. We should be saying kharch kiya. Because, I mean, look at the way you guys... I mean, let's just think about it. I can't think of even any middle-class couple not spending 5 to 10 lakhs on a wedding. It's just not possible. Everybody goes above board. And I'm being conservative. People with more money and, there's no stopping. People with low-income groups actually spend their entire savings on a wedding. So, in a way, I hope this is a good message because sometimes I feel it's just too much. We just spend too much and maybe Karan Johar is to blame because his 17 films all glorify the wedding. Maybe not.
He's definitely to blame for the new generation carrying it forward, I guess.
Yeah, the Sangeets go on for 3 days. You have to have an MC, you have to have an act, you have to have an item number. You have the oldest auntie from the mother's side who's performing. I mean, after some time, it's just not right, There has to be But again,
we thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it was an experience beyond any, because we were, like Rachita rightly said, we were so in the moment and present. I listened to the Pandit, whatever he said, I listened to all his words and paid attention.
Also, all our friends were sober, so they were listening to the, ceremony, which I think happened for the first time.
Yeah, that's the first time that's happened. That for the actual wedding ceremony, I was been sober. So
it was the most exciting event on the table for anybody in your group in the whole of April. I mean, what else is the next exciting thing is buying bhaji, if they allow us. So, this was big. Again, I interrupt the proceedings. I just want to understand. So you have the thing going on live, right? The actual ceremony. Mm-hmm. You got your close relatives, whoever you could get in the room, and then you got everybody else out on the internet. So then what happened? Was there entertainment of any kind?
So we did a small bharat. I came with my dogs in the beginning because didn't have any other option.
Best man.
Came from they're both girls. So.
Best way. It's the 21st century. Your best man is a girl. Come on, bro. That's good. You guys are breaking all the glass ceilings.
We came up one flight of stairs and then, had a small bharat. Everyone had
Sorry. I mean, that's like Garibo ki Bharat.
And Rachita got dressed in my room and she came into we did the ceremony in the hall. And everyone saw her enter from my room. A song played and, we tried whatever we could manage. The small things we tried and accomplished those. And the Zoom call, of course, was set up by my brothers. So huge shout out to them. Without them, positioning it, the camera in the right direction, covering everything, it wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah, and we had about 150 people on Zoom. Watching this for 2 hours. So we're
and
really
one top off, we thought people would just, watch it for 5 minutes or whatever, but people stayed through the whole thing. It was fantastic.
I think they wanted to go into the entire spirit of the wedding right up to the night. Be very careful. These guys are disgusting.
But we also had a bidai, which was from one side of the building. We got out and we came back in from the other side wearing masks. But nevertheless, a vidai.
Well, it's going to be a wedding no one's ever going to forget, that's for sure. In fact, it's going to be hard to top because when you get back to normal life, your best friend gets married and it'll be, oh, yaar, NACI ground, shadi, khana, pina, sangeet. I mean, it's so mundane.
My engagement was in NSCI.
Oh, sorry. We'll pick another venue. So then what about food?
So we progressed.
So guys, so people were wearing their clothes, right? In the spirit of the thing. I mean, Indian kapra and all that. Did they then eat and drink for your benefit like they would have in their own houses? Like, is there?
Oh yeah, they prepared food at home. They had drinks in their hands. It was really like their own party. Only they had to wash their own utensils afterwards. But that was the only difference. But they were really like participating in it, and it was very sweet, very adorable.
I'll tell you one thing. Whatever anybody says, this wedding will not be forgotten by anybody who's attended it on Zoom or knows about it. Okay, because I'm sure that there'll be a trend after this and there'll be more and all that, fair enough. But you guys have been the first that we sort of know about. So I think in your close circles, you're going to be famous forever. It'll be, I think it's going to be, and also there's a huge romance here that you guys have overcome this sort of situation and gone ahead with smiles on your face, and your support system has been great. I hate to use the word bra, but a good support system is unbeatable, really. So, I wish I could give you all a national award. But at the moment, all we're allowed is clapping. So I'm going to clap. Clap. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask Silvery, our producer, also known as Antariksh, and Amit Doshi, who runs the podcast, who all wanted to have a chat with you guys as well. Because I think for once we've got... For us, it's almost like Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay climbing Mount Everest. You're the first to do something big. So this is an exciting time for us, not to put the other guests down, including when Satyajit and his mom came and all that, all great. But this is really something, for example, I will remember. We've done 500 podcasts, but I will remember this for sure. Huge. I would ask you for the non-vegetarian details because weddings don't end with eating. Magar kintu parantu.
Side that.
Break ke baad. We'll be back in a second.
Entertainment is like food for the brain. It's a window to culture and a great way to understand the world around us. The internet has changed what it means to be an entertainer, creating new storytellers with millions of fans. It has spawned a new breed, the story-sellers, those behind the scenes creating the business for this ecosystem. They work with brands, platforms and channels who are keen to capitalize on an audience hungrier than ever for more stories. I'm Vineet Kanabar, and I have a ringside view to how stories are told and sold. On my show, I bring you creators, artists, executives, and marketers for a freewheeling conversation around the business of entertainment. Tune in to Storytellers and Storysellers for personal stories, analysis, and criticism every Thursdays as I talk to the brightest minds telling or selling great stories today.
All right, we're back here and we've got some very interesting people joining us, as I mentioned. Rakshita and Satyajit got married sometime back in April via Zoom. I hope Zoom pays for the real wedding when you want to have it, the flesh wedding, whatever you want to call it.
That's actually true. Zoom should give you guys
I think they're endorsing Zoom like nobody else is.
Exactly, yeah.
I got married by Zoom.
It was so amazing because you get everybody's reaction and
we recorded the whole video. So we have everyone's facial reactions to everything
every part of the wedding.
So it's very entertaining watching the video itself. We're going to make a supercut of it, to sort of make it into a shorter length. But it was a phenomenal experience even watching it back.
So what you're saying is you've got a POV now. Your point of view and then you got their point of view. That's fabulous. So when I go to Amazon to sell this product, which will be very easy for me, trust me. What kind of money are you looking at? Satyajit, what do you guys want?
Anything in the high...
That's my department.
Oh, already. The man is being emasculated on a podcast. Okay, let me introduce Amit Doshi, guys. He's come in, you know him. And I don't know if you know Silvery because... who's come all the way from Hawaii. Well, not anymore.
Yes. And congratulations, guys. Again, this is huge.
Okay. awkward silence as the two bachelors have nothing to say.
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, like, I spoke to Satyajit yesterday. Congratulations, Rachita, to you as well.
Thank you so much.
This was it was awesome. I saw this. I think I saw it on Satyajit, your Instagram. You put some stories up, right?
Yeah.
So I think I saw it over there. And I was just like, wow, this is so awesome, man. I mean, like, you guys are just breaking the mold in every way.
Yeah. I think more importantly, the positivity of this message. You know, I mean, look at them. They're so happy. They've done it. They've got everybody involved. I don't think they've left out any of their friends and family. And I just think that this is the way we have to go forward. Find ways to go forward as a civilization.
No, and there's genuine joy to this, right? I mean, like, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, like, I'm listening to the story. I'm listening to you guys talk, and I'm just smiling, right? I feel good about this. It's like there's good stuff happening in the world.
That is.
I remember when Satyajit was about to propose to Rachita in the office, and we were all in the know, only Rachita wasn't. And so at the office, we were all excited the entire day. We were all super excited, like we were watching it on the CCTV inside the studio, like, oh, this is so cool, Satyajit gonna propose. And it was one of the greatest days I've had.
But what if she said no? Silvery, what would you guys have done?
I mean, that was a running debate.
How would you handle it? That's a bad place to be in. Yeah.
It'll be on my record forever.
Yeah.
But was there any chance, Satyajit, had you checked with her vaguely? Must have sort of discussed it.
It was one day before our actual engagement party, so pretty much.
It was pretty much, I guess.
Wow.
Acha, bag mein tha. Already you had it. Got it.
But, you know,
that I could have possibly done.
Sorry.
I was just saying this was amazing, right? I mean, you guys, you were mentioning in the first half that your mom's life story got sold as a book.
Correct.
Dude, seriously, your love story is a film as well, right? I mean, like that there's a movie there. I mean, like, you guys should explore that.
No, you know, Amit, I'm saying Karan Johar with a lot of respect. The whole film, 75% will just be the wedding. I'm just thinking of, it'll be the 25% the coronavirus incident, the pre, how they met, blah, blah, blah. And then I would take it right from the point where they say, screw this, we are going to get married. We found a way, and we're just going to do it. And I think nobody has come in their way and said, guys, not a good idea. I think they've only got like positive. Am I right to say this?
Definitely.
In fact, everybody thought it was like a super cool and epic wedding.
One to be remembered for
sure.
Like,
we've never been so comfortable and enjoyed a wedding so much.
Rachita, can I tell you a secret? I was on the dinner table because we were doing this today. So last night on the dinner table, I was telling the folks and all. And I'm telling you, everybody was a little envious of you. So there's like an awkward silence. First they say like Zoom, like that, wow, that kind of face, like Zoom, how and all that. But deep down they're like, shit, that's so cool, That's so bloody cool. All of us, each one of us, people like me, from the same sort of class of society, all of us have had the same wedding. We could just replace each other. It's really been the same. You are the only person with a standout wedding. It's a standout wedding from start to finish. So I think there's going to be a little envy. Maybe lockdown is really not a bad idea. Even the money we're saving, actually.
Definitely.
I really hope people feel that, you can look at the positive in every situation. And anybody dealing with any kind of depression, anxiety can
just get married.
Look at it. Just get married.
Silvery, put your hand up before saying ridiculous things like that. God's sake. So the three of us who are in marriages here will understand this better.
But I think it's been a really interesting couple of months, right? We're seeing like you guys got married, right? We've been seeing so many different kinds of activities move to this kind of thing online, right? Like I think remember Sheena Khalid? She was on our podcast. Yeah, of course. So she directed a play on Zoom. So I think I heard about it from Roshan's group, Commune.
But see, my worry about that is you can cheat. Like, I could keep my script right there.
You have to come up with a new format to do this, right? You're doing a play with 4 people in 4 windows at 4 different locations. It's kind of interesting.
But Amit, exactly what happened now would happen in the play. We have Wi-Fi drop here, we'll have some sound interference, my mom walking in. What happens then? We just carry on with the play.
That kind of sucks.
Did you have some drops in the telecast and all when it was going on?
Just a couple of times, maybe for a few seconds.
A couple of times, though, actually, the connection was really, really good, which was, we were quite...
surprising.
Double meaning. I get it.
Everything was working well that day.
Yeah. So even God was on your side as well. Because I just realized it's such a long event. You'd expect a few logistical nightmares to happen here and there. So,
but I feel that, now if people have to like attend meetings and work from home, they should get used to a little bit of sound. And I mean, it's something that you can't help. And I guess we should.
It's a part and parcel.
Yeah.
If my dog comes in and starts barking, there'll be little I can do about it.
I think we've had that happen a couple of times today.
Already. Yeah, we had a fight on the bed. But there's good and bad in that. The good is, of course, that the employer is going to see that he can get a lot of work done without having, as we said, cults out of control. You don't have to come attend, whatever, you can still get the job done.
Yeah.
The bad thing is that then what? So you get a lower pay scale because you don't have to come to an office and state you're sitting at home. I mean, if I was an employer, I'd start looking at it like that.
Well, I mean, so I am an employer, and I look at it in both ways, right? So I don't think that it necessarily leads to reduction in cost from an employee from a hiring perspective. It leads to reduction in cost from an overhead perspective, right? I mean, because you're still gonna there's still competition to get employees, right? I mean, you're paying employees based on what the market is, right, for their skills at that point in time, right? So, I mean, that's how you decide their compensation. I don't think that really changes that much. But I think
our conversation on hiring has killed our show. All our happiness has gone out of the window. We were dancing in the aisles with the Bharat. Was 5 seconds of dancing before that.
Okay, all right. Let's move to happier things.
I just want to ask the big question, Amit, before we go into a few more details. Please be honest about this, because this is what you want to know. Like Hillary and Norke, who I mentioned before, who actually climbed the mountain first. So who came up with the idea, actually?
So,
well, it was more of the parents who took the initiative, and they were like, you should do this on the day that you all decided, and it doesn't really, matter if it's at home or where it is, as long as people can join in. So it was definitely a push from the wiser people in the house. And then,
but who came up with the Zoom technology idea? Who said, let's go tech?
So that was the night before. I think we were discussing on what we could do, because we had not informed anyone the night before.
And we were like, there are going to be a lot of people who want to come in, and then WhatsApp and other apps have restrictions on the number of people who can join in. So we're like, why don't we do a Zoom call so that whoever wants to join in can join in, and there can be as many people.
It was not a Zoom call. It was a Zoom barabar Zoom call. Listen, guys, you're the world record holders. It just struck me. I'm going to call it the Limca Book of Records right now for the fastest Indian wedding. There is no wedding I know which doesn't involve every single relative in every village going upar niche for 5 to 7 months before it's close to conclusions happen. I mean, Amit, please bear me out from your side also. Everybody plans weddings. Everybody gets involved. You guys
it is massive kind of this, right? I mean, it really is great that you're able to do this at this point in time. I'm thinking that how are you, you didn't have to do 7 functions, which is the first and best thing, I think, ever, right? You got to get away with, I think I saw you did like
not for the wedding planner, brother. Not for the wedding planner.
Well, not for the wedding planner. I guess that is, the wedding planner, it sucks for them. But I mean, for your guests, I'm sure they're highly appreciative of the fact that they don't have to come for 7 different things.
Yeah. They the dress code was kurtis and shorts, so they were very happy.
Amit, you've got everybody in the wrong time, I think.
Sitting under the AC in your own house, in your comfortable spot, I think must have been the most comfortable wedding attended for sure.
I would think so.
Coming back to Amit's point, I'm just saying that if it was pre-lockdown, that's absolutely correct. But I think post-lockdown, everybody wants to attend every wedding.
That's a good point. Yeah, right now
the clothes haven't come out. I know lots of women were thinking, I've got so many clothes. It's been 2 months. I wear a t-shirt and walk around the house. So I think this time, if you allowed people, all functions would be full with the most extravagant outfits. Anyway, are you guys going to have a wedding? What should we call it? Terrestrial wedding?
Many reasons to party, so definitely we'll be throwing many parties.
So at least there'll be a sort of Sangeet with lots of action, if you know what I mean.
There'll definitely be like a few parties to celebrate this as soon as we can.
I think the government of Maharashtra should 100% sponsor it, because you've got glory on May Day, May 1st, which is also Samyukta Maharashtra Day, Divas, if I may. Because my forefathers fought for this.
We're still planning our honeymoon, so then you can please pass on the message, spread the word around.
In case
any sponsorships are
all sorts of sponsorships.
Then we need to go straight to Australia, and what a beautiful country it is. We don't have to stop at Maharashtra. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have an answer. Nobody has an answer when these borders will all open. But I'm sure in the fullness of time, you will have a great holiday sponsored by us. We promise.
I think it just gives you a chance to reflect on, what's important, and we're just happy that we can now stay together and,
Can I give you a hint as a conjuice? Mm-hmm. If you guys want to go to a place that has great culture, great history, great tech, and very cheap, Wuhan, China. You can't go wrong.
Excellent.
Very good deals. Very good deals. Cheaper than Lonavala. At the moment, cheaper than Bombay Lonavala. I would take it.
Then we'll definitely be given an award for this.
Yeah. And then your next telecast will also be Zoom. From some other room. Yeah. Okay, any critics? Anybody said, God, what are you guys doing? Anybody say, no? Not a good idea?
No.
Not really. I think everyone...
Everyone
so
was
we were very...
supportive.
We were very careful about some precautions that we took, like we sanitized the lift and we did all sorts of things, make sure that it was as hygienic and safe as possible. And
the Pandit had to be tested before.
Yeah, the Pandit had to be tested before and check whether he had COVID or not. But,
and the Pandit was tested for fever, coughing, cold, all that.
Yes.
And he didn't put up a resistance.
No, he passed the test as well. So,
I wish I had put sponsors on. You could have put sponsors. I mean, it's a bit commercializing the wedding and killing the romance a bit. But all these ideas are coming to my head because, like you just discussed.
Make it up in the movie deal, no, Cyrus?
Yeah, look, we're joking about this. Okay, if the movie deal happens, you owe me money. Then I think it's fair because it's not a joke. I really believe you'll get a movie deal out of this.
There is a story here. There is absolutely a story here.
So if it happened last time on your prediction, Cyrus, I'm very
There you go. There you go. Now, what do you know about the market? Tell me. Okay. Guys, just one quick thing before we go to the AMAs and all that. Now that this is done, and since you've just embarked on holy matrimony, and since I'm an experienced hand, I always like to ask this question when we do shows, live shows and stuff. I love it. Is there one thing you'd like to change about each other? Is there anything? Very delicate question, but get it out there right now so the next 60 years of bliss. Is there one thing if you could change about Rachita, what would you change? Satyajit, let me go first.
I'm not going first.
You bloody coward! You bloody coward!
Please go ahead.
Come on.
And you can set the benchmark and I will follow.
Because this is all lovey and beautiful, but there must be one or two things.
See, I'll give you the reality of it. The thing is, I am a hyper-realist, so I realize that if somebody asks me to change something about myself, I cannot do it unless I want to do it. So I expect pretty much the same out of my partner. Like, I don't want him to change anything about himself, but I definitely want him to consider my likes or dislikes in a particular situation.
I have understood. I'm writing down your philosophy. Your philosophy is simple. It is thus: jisko jaisa, magar karna padega. That's very clear. Very clear.
That married talk for you gotta do what I'm saying, buddy.
So this was for the camera. Now the real one is.
But this is a bloody good, Sajid. That is a bloody good answer. Okay, it's going to be tough to talk. Because it's got a sort of hidden meaning, but it's really sounds very gentle. Yeah. I'm straight from the heart. So your jawab.
Yeah, be willing to change.
Wow. She's the racket, you are the ball. Okay, guys, I'm not going to dampen this lovely thing with my stupid question. This is just great. You've made my entire family happy, and I'm going to tell people in the lane the story if I meet anybody when I walk the dogs. And
you could ask them to listen to the podcast too, Cyrus.
I will ask them to listen to the podcast. I think this podcast is nice. It's just more than just what it symbolizes. It's also the fact that you open the door and said, "Listen, this is the way out. There's got to be. We got to enjoy our life. We can't just sit here stuck in a jail in a concentration camp eating mummy's khana as much as we like it. We need to get out of this place a little bit, and you've done it in a way. So I hope that goes through for the workplace, for the entertainment space, for a huge thing like a wedding." And I think it is now, Amit. Don't you think that people are finding their way out?
We're going to start seeing this, right? I mean, again, we're on the 1st today. We're recording this on the 1st. It's going to come out on Monday, the 4th. And by then, we'll have a good idea of what's happening from the lockdown perspective, right? Yeah. We are definitely going to see some
even if we don't, even if it continues gray area where they say it may open on the 18th or may not, or I'm saying forget it. We just have to keep going. And
you have to do stuff, right? Like I told you about the play, right? That's something that's happening. There's so many music concerts happening online right now. I played a poker tournament, probably with Satyajit's brother. I'm not 100% sure, but he was probably there.
Does he owe you money?
No, it was a tournament. So, I mean, it was a one-off kind of this. But it was great. There were 60 people playing that tournament. I mean, I haven't played a 60% poker tournament in Bombay ever.
Wow.
Yeah. How much did you win, Ahmed?
Oh, I was the 5th person out. I was the 5th bounce. For anybody who's interested in poker, I basically lost. I had a set of aces which lost to a gut shot straight.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was, and basically at that point I had like 400 tokens left, and then I went all in on an ace king. And that.
So you went from aces to ace hole. What the hell is wrong with you?
Pretty much.
Guys, you realize one thing. There's one industry that's ahead of us. When you think about marriage to Zoom and all that, one industry is already out there. The porn industry. They're working overtime and doing so well.
Yeah.
In a sense, I don't know. I just like to learn from different people and experiences, and I think we should.
So I will. I don't know how to send this to anybody, but somebody said so. Pornhub made like this amazing promotional video.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to send it to anybody. It's completely clean.
I know what you're saying. Well, because we don't want to get caught in the erotic and the explicit. That's just the medium. We're trying to talk about the philosophy behind that, which is
it was amazing. It was like you're watching it, right?
Yeah.
As you're watching it, you think this might be like some kind of a Zoom ad, or this might be some kind of like, an ad for like, a bank or something like that, where it's like we're all in this together, and then turns out it's a Pornhub ad.
I thought it was Benetton going non-vegetarian. I got to tell you, but all these guys are the good examples for me going forward. I just don't want to hear any more of the negativity now. I can't take it anymore. The body counts and all that. So I want to play this podcast every day for 7 days at least. Until we find another couple. Okay, guys, congratulations from all of us. What else can
Thank you so much.
Really, a lot of respect. We're not being insincere here. I am basically 90% insincere. But today, I found the truth. I found my Satya. I don't know, Satyajit hua ya nahi, but I have found the Satya at least. I think it's fabulous. We're going to spread the word though.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
You won't be alone on the mountain. Edmund and Tenzing.
Thanks for having
us. You don't know
us.
which one is which.
Yeah.
Wait. We have the AMAs coming up now. And
yes, we do.
Are we going straight to the AMAs?
Yeah, let's go to the AMAs.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sarayu Natarajan.
And I'm Alok Prasanna Kumar.
And we are the hosts of the Ganatantra podcast.
On this podcast, we speak to academics, social scientists, journalists, and activists to find out what's actually going on in Indian politics.
On this podcast, we stay away from personality politics, intrigue, and gossip, and instead focus on the data, research, and analysis that drives all this.
So tune in to the Ganatantra podcast, where new episodes are out every Wednesday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Silvery, the ball is in your court.
Yes, the first one, subject is not a COVID question. So, because we've been getting a lot of those, so thank God for that.
Super.
Sent in by Abhig Ghosh. He says, hey Cyrus, team and guest. A big hello from Vancouver. I'm a regular listener. The question I had was, is it difficult to interview people whose political views or opinions are so polarizing compared to yours? I tend to end up hating the person. How do you manage to stay objective?
Yeah, I'm lucky.
And that's first question.
Go
if I can the second one is, and do you think we should have 24 hours news channels anymore? Or do they even solve any purpose?
Very good. Both questions are good. For the first one, I have a lot of practice. Grown up in a very, I won't use the word egalitarian, but a very open society. My father is very pro-Jewish. My aunt, who's a big influence on me, is very pro-Palestinian. So I'm lucky that way that all the factors were in the house, and debate is a debate. It doesn't have to be more than that. So I think generally it's about personality issue when we have people on, and you can disagree with a lot of things but get along really well. You know, like I've had Pakistani friends, for example, in New York where I stayed for 4 months, and we were We disagreed on everything, but we loved each other. We just got along really well for whatever reason. My wife and me are a bit like that. Maybe she's Pakistani, I'm not sure. I have to check. But let's give Satyajit and Rachita a chance to answer this. When you're stuck with people who's political, I think Satyajit, you've met a lot of people like that, who's, let's say, far right of center, you're a little left of center, and then what happens is, does it become personal?
It's very interesting because we have guests on our show all the time who have very strong opinions. Mm-hmm. And I think on Paperback as well, what we try to do is try to understand their point of view of the opinion. Even if you disagree with it, it doesn't have to be like a heated debate or anything. You can always listen to another point of view and, reserve your judgment or, whatever, disagree with it. It doesn't have to get into a whole thing all the time. You can disagree with people. It doesn't mean they're bad people or you're bad people. You can have different views and things.
But sometimes they could be bad people, though.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone.
No, but that's why being a liberal sucks. Because if you're a liberal, you have to hear the other guy. Yeah. But if you're a fascist, you don't have to hear the other guy. Sometimes I think, why can't I be a liberal fascist? I'm liberal, but I want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? Get a way out. Oh, of course,
you have to be patient with ignorant people.
Yeah, I mean...
you don't even have kids yet. Test of patience. Mama, play it again. Mama, play it again. Mama, play it again. I have no idea. Oh, God.
Big, right?
All right. Okay, we have a second question to answer. Yeah, I think let the guest take this as well. 24-hour news channels. Have news channels become A, redundant in a sense, and B, ridiculous, more ridiculous than redundant? Because we all know what they're about.
I think if you know the bias that news channel is from, there should be many more news channels. So maybe there should be 5 or 6 reporting each bias side so that you get at least a diverse opinion about what the hell is going on, rather than one-sided or two-sided.
What I miss, which I think the BBC still has to some extent, is the neutrality in the body language. They just tell you the news. They don't get into left, right, and center. Our guys now are talking to you like teachers all the time. They're very pedagogic.
It's a remnant of the past. Maybe we moved on from that time. I don't know. I
really maybe. But it's because more like general entertainment. They're screaming and shouting, they're pontificating, they're telling you what is. Yeah. Stay at home. Be safe. You're a freaking newscaster. You can say it normally. Yeah.
Also, they have to keep broadcasting for 24 hours. Yeah. So they'll just make news out of anything. The most sensational thing. Smallest thing.
One man held his head above the water.
Enough, yeah. Basically, that's what the entertainment and cross section of entertainment and news has taught us. That the public wants.
The drama.
They want to.
So no one's listening to the song. They just want all the noise around it.
Yeah.
That's so let me give you a couple of examples, right? I mean, if you look at something like, so there's a website called Axios, right? AXIOS. It's a U.S. political website. It is kind of tried to make its space in this idea of no opinion, just facts, right? Every article is only bullet points. There's no kind of
I love that.
So it's a really interesting kind of space. So, but they've been able to make that because I feel like there is so much on right and left. People are tired of it that they want to go here, right? And I think that this is something you get in supplement to what your right and left consumption is in general, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that 24-hour news channels, like you said, you have 24 hours to talk, right? I mean, you got to program that time. And when you start programming that time, the easiest thing to program is program an hour-long block of somebody just talking shit.
Yeah.
No, but see, when they have panelists, I don't mind the panelists giving the expert opinion. It's like, let me explain in a cricketing metaphor. If you get news saying Rohit Sharma 63, Virat Kohli 74 batting, that's news. And the commentator comes and says Rohit Sharma beautiful 63 and Virat Kohli is entertaining whatever 74. So that becomes the commentary. So the problem is when the moderator becomes the commentator, that's the issue. Why the hell does he have to tell us? There's this one particular guy whose name I can't mention by law, who's always, before he sets it up, he's told you, how dare they? How dare they? How dare they? Just tell us the news, then we will decide how dare they. Isn't that the way it should play?
No, but I think you're right. But I think the thing is that what you're looking for is we don't have a news format channel. What we have is this is something I love talking about because I am the podcasting person, right? The form of conversation that in the US is taken by talk radio, which is this kind of reactionary crap, right? I mean, you have Rush Limbaugh, you have Sean Hannity. On the left, you have Rachel Maddow. You have extremely, extremely polarizing stuff happening on talk radio in the US, right? Over here, that space is being taken by the news channels. We have debate shows which are taking that space, right? What we don't have is we don't have just the news, just the facts.
Yep.
Right. That is not there. But I don't know if the audience is there for that, because I'll tell you the problem. That shit's a lot more expensive to make than it is to have one dude in a studio with 5 guests.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you have to, like I was reading yesterday, Alt News. Are you familiar with Alt News on Twitter? Pratik Sinha. Basically, they debunk a lot of stuff, right? And so there was a story going on of how there was this one family in Delhi where 31 people were infected with COVID and how they spread it and all of that, right?
It was a fake.
It wasn't a fake story. It was somewhat of a real story, but it was a story which was kind of, it was somewhat fake, right? So like nobody knew that the person who died had COVID until after she died, right? So her test result came 2 days after she died.
Yeah.
So she did infect people. People did get infected by this, but then there was a whole lot of other stuff that came around it as well. But it took them 9 days to trace that one story. So the one guy who wrote the story for Alt News, he spent 9 days tracing the story.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
Right? Compared to one dude sitting in the studio or one dudette sitting in the studio.
Making up a story, which is cheaper. You don't have to wait for any story. You just say. For example, in Palghar, -- whatever. Man, really. But I guess the message we got from the question is that the public is also quite cynical. At least slightly more educated, I suppose, public is quite cynical about the news and either watching it in, with contempt, because they're forced to, or not taking it seriously enough.
I don't watch it.
Sad.
I honestly, I don't.
It would be much better to watch, because then you know what the bias is.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Right?
I think that's a fair way to approach it. But I mean, like I value my mind and my time and my brain a little bit more than watching that kind of stuff. I feel like I'd rather like there's a bunch of online stuff which is good, right? I'd rather get my news from that rather than watch like something like this.
But in these times, I think you just need to still check your sources for everything.
Guys, just go back to the 70s. There's a lovely show called Not the 9 O'Clock News with Rowan Atkinson and gang. It's hilarious. You can, it's not as funny as our news, but it's almost as funny. So really, just watch that and you'll be fine. Yeah. All right, can we squeeze one more question in?
Yes, one more. Sure. This is quite fun. This says, this sent in by Hamad Rashid. He says, "Hi Cyrus, Amit, Silvery and guests. This is Hamad from UK, small-time musician. I wanted to ask Cyrus that why does he like the Beatles so much? Also, any song recommendations, as I have heard Revolver and Sgt. Pepper's, and sorry to say, I find nothing special about them. Have a nice week and stay safe."
He's been very polite, but what I'm feeling right now is blood rush. Anger.
Exactly.
I already asked my mother to remove the AK-47 she used to carry. How can anyone have the audacity in this world to say, I don't like the Sgt. Pepper's? It's the album that changed music. I mean, in any other society, he would have been stripped naked and, marched across the street. But he's a polite guy, Hamad. So I accept, as an egalitarian, as a liberal, that there's another point of view. Yeah, I only say this much. Nobody's had as many number ones. Nobody's made. I mean, the whole they had over music between 62 and 70. It's just ridiculous. Frank Sinatra said he was looking for a job. Elvis was redundant. I mean, it's just what the Beatles have done, how they influence Hindi music or cultures from across the world like Japan and everything else. It's just ridiculous. And every musician who comes after the Beatles will give them credits. And of course, music has changed and all that, but everyone.
No, but I think
I can't argue this point. I'm bored.
So I'll say this, right? One of the things that does happen is that when time passes on, the innovator of a particular kind of formula or a particular kind of genre or a particular kind of music starts to be seen as less and less imaginative, because people have built on what he's done or what they've done. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And what that does is that leads to a thing where now it's like, oh, okay, I've heard this a bunch of times. Like you see this. So I see this a lot. And so as I think many of our listeners might know, I like reading fantasy novels. Right. And what the most well-known fantasy novel of all times is The Lord of the Rings. Right. I mean, like it's a really old book. It was written way back in like the 30s or 40s. I can't stand that book. I've tried to read it 3 times. I have never got past 100 pages because it is just. It's written in a way which is different from what I know that I'm giving Satyajit a little bit of a heart attack over here.
Yeah, really. But you and Hamad stand in the back of the class.
No, but I mean, like I've read. I'm deeply read in the fantasy space, right? I read a lot of stuff, and I've been through a lot. But it's hard to get through it.
What Tolkien, exactly what you said, what Tolkien brought to the party has created so many other subspecies.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just. I mean, how can you even? There a Punjabi Guru Govind Dono Khade Kisi Lagu Paye, the famous. Kabir Dohe, I think.
I'll tell you guys a very cool fun fact about the Beatles.
Go ahead.
This is what makes them so great, in my opinion. Also, it's one of my favorite facts. The Beatles are the only band in history, in all of musical history. Like, you know how you have the top 100 UK Billboard charts?
Yeah.
All 5 songs, Beatles songs. Yeah. That has never happened since or before them, ever.
Arey Baba, Yesterday is the most played song in the history of the world, and the lead it has over people like Michael Jackson.
But Yesterday is...
I refuse to...
This is almost like for me. Yeah, exactly. He's touched a chord. He's touched a note. But he's done it very sweetly, so I will not be rude to him. He's obviously a nice guy. But he hasn't allowed the Beatles to influence him at all. He's got to listen. A lot of people, the easy way out is 3-chord song, simple music, very simple, very easy. The point is that there's a lot of profundity in the simple music that they provided. And Sgt. Pepper's itself has every genre in it. It changed the face of music. It has even heavy metal moments in it. It has classical music. Yeah. It's pop, it's soul, it's reggae, it's everything. Yeah. You'll find
that's the album with the top 5 songs. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
How to say that? I mean, that just, it's like saying that Shakespeare was an illiterate, which he may have been, but it's fantastic. Anyway, let's not argue about this anymore.
So, any song recommendations for him, for Hamad?
I'm a Loser. I'm a Loser is a lovely... I'm a loser. I'm a loser. I'm not what I appear to be. No, I'm just kidding. I think he should start with the older albums. The songs that he's familiar with, and then slowly let them be, because there's so much difference in the music, and yet there's a sameness, which is just amazing about the group. And so for me, growing up as a young man, when you fall in love, fall out of love, when people die, the way those words come back and haunt you, the reference context that you feel. I mean, I feel sad for someone who doesn't go through that. Because the ability to understand that 4 men from Liverpool, 3 of them with very poor backgrounds, it's just fabulous. It's just absolute genius.
Yeah, no, I would say that, there are 2 ways to approach the Beatles. The first way is to, there are a collection of number ones. The album's called Number Ones. It's like 25 songs that they had as number ones. One is you can do that. That's the easy way. And that's not the way that you'll really gain an appreciation. I think the real way to do it is basically listen to each album one by one and kind of see the growth of the Beatles as musicians and how they saw music change and stuff like that, how they really changed it.
I'll tell Hamad to listen to 3 songs.
Watch the Beatles musical, the movie that came out, the musical.
He could.
Yeah, that's got a lot of songs from the Beatles.
Yeah. But listen, we don't need to share the Beatles with anyone. If you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. But just tell me as a young man, don't worry if they don't want to watch Test cricket. It's fine. We'll watch it.
So you're clearly a Beatles person. I'm clearly a Beatles person.
Yeah.
Adarsh, you're a Beatles person?
Love the Beatles, yeah.
Satyajit?
Yeah, sure.
Rachita?
Yes. No, I can't say no.
Sort of. So
back of the class.
There was a big debate that kind of erupted online a couple of days ago. Beatles versus Rolling Stones. Nobody likes both.
Yeah,
you think that's true or false? You think that's true or false?
No, not at the same level. It's like dogs and cats.
You've
got to choose. I think Rolling Stones will always be the band that comes after. I don't think there's a question. They've had some great moments. They've outlived everyone. And Mick Jagger is now, even though he's a fossil, is still, performing. But I don't think there's a comparison. Honestly, the Beatles, if you look at anyone from the 60s, you ask them, ask your uncles, aunts, whatever, the kind of phenomenon. It's like Amitabh Bachchan in the late 70s and 80s. There was no other actor. You can't lie about that. Everybody went to watch Amitabh Bachchan movies. And everybody was second. There was a huge gap. And that's the way it is. What can you do?
Their music was rebellious in that time. Yeah. They were more infamous than they were famous, right? And that's why,
all that. He made that comment about Christ, and you know what happened after that, if you guys are familiar. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But Hamad, just quickly, the 3 songs I'll recommend. If I Fell, a song you must listen. The harmonies are fabulous, and if you ever are cheating on your girlfriend or wife, that song will really hit home. Then I think you have to, for sure, you have to listen to a song called I Want to Hold Your Hand. It's the most simple song ever written. They wrote it on a bus. They wrote it on just a brown paper bag. With, that's it. It became the hardest selling single ever. It's just 3 chords, but it's such a beautiful sentiment. And again, when you fall in love for the first time, you hold a girl's hand or girl holds your hand. Just that beautiful, romantic. I mean, I'm still feeling my goosebumps right now. I miss that girl, of course, because that was many years ago. This girl is not the same thing. She's a Rolling Stones fan, I think. And then In My Life, I think is arguably one of the greatest songs in the history of the world. And those lyrics, if you can write them, I'll kill myself right now. If anybody can rewrite those lyrics, every word is gold. So, Hamad, In My Life, first, take it down. Then, I Want to Hold Your Hand, not you and me, generally speaking. And If I Fell. Yeah. Lecture
Amit?
over for the day. We've killed their
Do you
wedding.
have 3 songs? Do you like
The
very much?
Beatles?
Yeah, from the Beatles.
So in my life for sure. I mean, like
Okay.
in my life for sure. I throw Yesterday in there. I mean, like you got to put Yesterday, right? I mean, like you can't not have Yesterday.
Yesterday.
But I'm thinking yesterday he would have heard because yesterday is just far too popular.
That is also probably true. And then maybe Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I really like that song.
Great song. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Yeah. If I can recommend quick 3, I would say Don't Let Me Down.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Yeah.
This is really
I'm in love for the first time.
of Don't Let Me Down.
Sorry.
I said there's a really nice cover of Don't Let Me Down in the musical.
Oh, okay. Cool. We'll check that out. So that's one song, Don't Let Me Down. Second one is I Saw Her Standing There.
She was just 17.
Yeah.
And Kunal used to think, he used to think the word was mother. I saw my mother standing.
Okay. And the last one is I'm debating between Penny Lane or 8 Days a Week. Both of them are great, so I'll say Penny Lane. But if I had to choose.
Both are great. And 8 Days a Week brought the claps in.
Yeah.
The song which is all done with claps. Okay, I won't sing it. Go, next. For the married couple, do they like anything?
It doesn't look like they have the Beatles love like we do.
Mick Jagger.
And I like Don't Let Me Down.
Wow. All right. And Satyajit is like, he wants to read his poem again. Okay, guys, I think we've done a lot here, but again, let me wrap this up by saying thank you so much for showing us your light.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
A lot of respect. This is a good, lovely moment in the stupid, ugly lockdown, which I hate so much now that I want to turn rebel myself. And yeah, I think this is a good shot in the arm to all of us. So, Rasika, Satyajit, God bless. Thank you. And
thank you so much for having us.
For the terrestrial wedding, don't forget us also, boss.
Yeah.
I've got my purse here. I'll be going to buy you all some nice wedding presents.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're good.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Janice, what do you think couples did before TV was invented?
I don't know, go for walks on the beach, long drives, fancy dinners, have more sex maybe?
But what did we do when we decided to move in together? We debated between the Chromecast and the Fire Stick.
We gave up on sleeping early so we could stay up watching true crime shows.
We got ourselves 3 cat babies.
And basically became the cutest couch potatoes around.
Okay then.
In case you guys still haven't got it, we are a TV crazy, Netflix loving, binge watching Mr. and Mrs.
I'm Anirudh Kuha.
I'm Janice Sequeira.
And if like us, you snort TV for breakfast, lunch and dinner, this is the podcast for you.
Tune in every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. This is
Mr.
and Mrs.
Binge Watch.
Hi, I'm Satyajit.
Hi, I'm Racheta.
We are from the Open Library Project and we host a podcast called Paperback.
Paperback is a podcast where we engage with stalwarts and experts from various industries, suggesting non-fiction titles that contributed to their journey in a big way.
We've had guests like Anjali Raina, Dr. Marcus Rani, Dr. Swati Lodha, Ambi Parmeswaran, Apurva Damani, and many more on our show Paperback. Find new episodes every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.